Hey guys, Dalek44 here. I need no introduction, but I got one anyway. And today I'm going to bring you another toy review. This time it's going to be on a Doctor Who toy. And this Doctor Who toy review is on the Asylum of the Daleks collector's set from 2014. So you can see here is the Doctor Who logo from the classic series. I think it's the logo that was used from the 1990s movie when Paul McGann was the Doctor. Yeah, I think this was from there. And it's been used for classic series, but not really sure why it's used for this one, since it's an 11th Doctor set, but never mind. And through this big box, you could see the Daleks that are included in it. We got the Supreme Dalek, Time War Dalek, as I like to call them, and a new metallic drone Dalek. And here it features a sound effects bronze Dalek, which is the Time War Dalek. And here there's the exclusive Asylum of the Daleks thingy and all that, like which figures it includes and what year the episode aired. And down at the bottom here there's a picture of the 11th Doctor from 2010 to 2013, which is very nice. And this is basically like what all the other Toys R Us exclusive Doctor Who and the Daleks sets had. Like, this is basically how the boxes for those look like, except this is a little bit bigger. And on one side of the box it has a picture of one of the classic Daleks, so I think it might be a Genesis Dalek, or maybe it could be a Resurrection Dalek, I'm not sure. But it's basically just showing a picture of a Dalek with a reject stamp on it, basically showing that it was from the Asylum. Even though I don't remember seeing any of the Asylum Daleks with those stamps on them, but never mind. And there's the other side of the box with a Time War Dalek with Asylum stamp on its dome. And on the side, if you can see here, it says Battle Damaged and Asylum Stamped Daleks, which basically shows that these Daleks are from the Asylum. And you can tell that this one's been in there for shitloads of years, since it's all rusty and dusty. Rusty and dusty. Nice. And here's the back of the box, which has a few details about the Daleks and the episode on it. Like, on this bit here, there's a picture of the Doctor, Amy and Roy in the Dalek Parliament, like, surrounded by shitloads of Daleks. And the funny thing about it is, there's more Time War Daleks here than there are Paradigm Daleks. It's kind of funny. And there's a little info on the episode, like, basically what you can expect from the episode if you haven't already seen it. Or if you have seen it, then it's basically a recap. And down here there's information about the Daleks, which was on the other Toys R Us boxes. And down here there's the 11th Doctor, and the strip is basically going from the 6th Doctor to the 11th Doctor. And down here there's what the box contains. One of those scan me things, which I can't really use because I don't have a smartphone. And here is a very awesome picture of the Asylum Daleks. I think this must have been taken from the scene when the Daleks were chasing after Roy. Or maybe it could have been after Amy and the Doctor, I'm not really sure. Well, that's the info about the box out of the way. Now let's get to the interesting part, which are the 3 Daleks from the Asylum. And so here are the Daleks from the Asylum collector set from Toys R Us. And the detail on them is very good, it's brilliant. Now, let's have a look at them one by one, and we're going to start off with the Dalek Supreme, which is the white Dalek, as you already know. Right, let's have a look. And there's a lot of good detail on this model. It's very similar to the original model from 2010 from Victory of the Daleks. And as you can see here, there's lots of evidence of rust and weatheriness from years of being in the Asylum. And on the side here there's an Asylum stamp, and again I don't really remember seeing those stamps on the Daleks in the Asylum, but whatever. They must have been there somewhere. I don't think I really noticed them, to be honest. Ooh, got my eye on you. Sorry. And the only nitpick I have with this one is the back of it. Like, it's basically the 2010 Dalek repainted. You would have noticed in Asylum of the Daleks that this pad on the back of the Daleks were sort of pushed back a little bit, like not as wide as it is here. So yeah, a bit of a disappointment, but it's still a really good model. But I don't 100% see why they couldn't have just made a new version of it. Never mind. Okay, and now we move on to the Red Drone Dalek. And the Red Drone Dalek is like the same as the Supreme Dalek, with the back not changed, but whatever. And another Asylum stamp here. It's on the right hand side instead of the left hand side. And very nice weathered effect. And I think this is one of the best new Dalek models to come out of this year so far, because like the drone Daleks from Asylum, it looks more metallic. Like, the red on it is very metallic compared to how it used to be in 2010. I love this metallic effect, and because I got a light on this Dalek, like, because I got a lamp on it, it's very shiny. It just looks really shiny. I love this edition that they made it metallic. Very much like the Strategist Dalek from the Doctor and the Dalek sets. Now all they got to do is make a metallic red drone without the weathered effect. And last but not least, we'll have a look at the Bronze Time War Dalek. And this Bronze Time War Dalek is basically a sound effects Dalek repainted. Like, there's the button on here where you press it and it talks, like so.
Daleks conquer and destroy. Exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. Scanning. Elevate.
And he's elevating. Nice.
Obey the Daleks.
Nope.
Multi-spectrum scanning now engaged. Surrender or be exterminated.
Not a chance, mate. No, I wouldn't actually say that to a real-life Dalek, because it'll probably kill me on the spot. But this is another very good model, in my opinion. It's like the previous Daleks from 2010, where they got their upgrades. Well, actually, these Daleks actually got their upgrades in 2008 when Series 4 was airing. And it's got a very nice weathered effect on it here. Yeah, the weathered effect on it is really good. It's like they used like oil paint on it or something. I have no idea. And there's an Asylum stamp. It's on the back of the dome instead of on either sides of it, which is a nice touch. Yeah, the way it's painted here reminds me of the Dalek from the 10th Doctor and the Dalek set, where it was a Dalek from the Crucible. It's very interesting, very rusty and old looking for a Dalek. Now let's do a few comparisons to these Daleks with Dalek models I have. Like, here's the Asylum Supreme Dalek, and here's the Victory of the Dalek Supreme Dalek. Just there we go. Now they're both basically the same model, but the Asylum one's been repainted to look like it's been in an asylum for God knows how many years. And they're both very good models. They both have great detail. And I love that there's two versions of the Supreme Dalek. It's just a great addition to add to your collection. Even if you've already got one Supreme Dalek, I'd definitely say getting this set for the other Supreme Dalek. And now we're going to compare the Bronze Dalek to the other Bronze Sound Effects Dalek. And they're basically the same, but the Asylum Dalek is more weathered, and it's got a lot more weathered detail than this one. Well, this one has actually no weatheredness at all. It's just basically a Bronze Dalek as they were sold from 2005 to today. And I'll take this one away, and I'm going to also compare this to this smaller scale Asylum Dalek, which looks a lot more rusty and weathered than this one does, but I'm not going to complain. And it's just nice to have a Asylum Dalek that's bigger. And another difference from this model and this model here is that the Asylum stamp on this one is on the right hand side of the dome instead of the back, which is kind of funny. And the second I bought this model, I was actually thinking that if it weren't for the stamp, you could like use this as a Day of the Doctor Dalek, since the Daleks in the Time War looked very rusty like this one. So if it weren't for the stamp on this one, you could use it as a Time War Dalek from the Time War. But they're both really good models, and I like that there's a bigger version for the Asylum Dalek. And last but not least, we'll compare the red Asylum Dalek to the red Dalek from 2010. Now, the red Dalek from 2010 is, of course, a very bright red, and it was the same red that it came as in Victory of the Daleks. Like, not very metallic and not completely threatening, if I'm honest. But it is a pretty cool model. And with the Drone Dalek from the Asylum set, it's metallic and weathered, and a lot of people love the metallic effect for this Dalek. So another great addition to add to your collection, and a little bit more threatening, well, not a little bit, a lot more threatening than the original Drone Dalek, way more threatening. And that's my opinion on the Asylum of the Daleks collector set from Toys R Us. If you're a Doctor Who fan, especially Daleks, then I definitely recommend getting this set. It's a great set to add to your collection, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So if you want to get this model, then rush over to Toys R Us and find it. You won't be disappointed. And until next time, this is Dalek44 saying cheerio.